The Beatles' legendary song catalog came together through a variety of creative methods, especially during the band's formative years. Most of their songs were composed by the iconic duo Paul McCartney and John Lennon. In the early days, they would sit side by side at Paul's family home on Forthland Road in Allerton, Liverpool, crafting songs collaboratively in real time. As time went on and creative differences began to surface, Lennon and McCartney gradually started working more independently. They often wrote songs separately, later presenting their ideas to each other for refinement and minor adjustments. Despite working alone on many pieces, they continued to share joint credit under the Lennon-McCartney banner, even when their contributions were entirely individual. Occasionally, they would combine distinct sections they had each written into one cohesive song. A prime example of this was A Day in the Life, featured on their groundbreaking 1967 album, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Lennon came up with the opening portion in January 1967, taking inspiration from various newspaper stories, including the tragic passing of Guinness heir Tara Brown and a Daily Mail article about potholes in Blackburn. When he played it for McCartney, Paul added a contrasting middle section that reflected a slice of his youth in Liverpool, a narrative about waking up, having a smoke, and rushing to catch the bus, reportedly based on his routine of taking the 82 bus from Speke to school. Another track that emerged from this dual songwriting structure was Baby, You're a Rich Man, released later in 1967 as the B-side to the standalone single All You Need Is Love, which came out on July 7th of that year. Initially, Lennon had begun the song under a different title, One of the Beautiful People, once again drawing inspiration from newspaper features, this time focused on the emerging hippie culture. He later brought the incomplete song to McCartney at his home in St. John's Wood. Paul contributed a lyric he had written for a different unfinished tune, the phrase, Baby, You're a Rich Man, which ultimately gave the song its title and defining chorus. In a 1980 interview, Lennon recalled the collaboration as a fusion of two separate song ideas. He explained that his portion included the melody and lyrics referencing the beautiful people, while Paul added the catchy refrain. Lennon described it as a forced combination of two different creative pieces. Unlike most Beatles recordings at the time, Baby, You're a Rich Man was laid down at Olympic Sound Studios in southwest London rather than their usual base at Abbey Road's EMI Studios. After completing work on Sgt. Pepper, the band had shifted focus to producing songs for the Yellow Submarine film, and this track was among the submissions, though it ultimately was not included in the movie. Instead, the song was released alongside All You Need Is Love, and later appeared on the US version of the Magical Mystery Tour album, a decision reportedly made without the band's consent.